All right. So I have a idea I want to pitch to you guys. I'll never do it because I already have a business to work on.
You're a busy man.
I have a backlog of ideas, and this one I just keep going back to. Like, I want to tweak this a little more. And
I'm going to put the over-under at $35 million value for this business.
Oh, okay.
Like right now?
Whatever he's about to spit. Like, I know,
Whatever he says.
I know the expected value is like 35.
It's not anything novel, and I'm sure someone is doing it already, but I want to know why it's not a good idea. All right, so let me...
I also want to predict who from our Discord takes this idea.
And runs with it?
That's exactly what I was going to say is I hope people are listening because go for it.
Somebody should.
Let's see if it's good.
Yeah, see if it's good. It could be a terrible idea.
We tell people either to do it or not do it.
This segment's going to be really awkward, by the way, if you just share the worst idea ever.
All right, you want to hear it?
Nobody's heard this idea in advance, by the way. So.
Or everyone's heard this idea. All right, so it's a golf simulator hole-in-one challenge. Okay, you pay $20, you get 3 balls, you hit a hole-in-one, you get $10,000 in cash. You put this thing in the new San Diego airport terminal. It's open 24/7, 16 hours a day, and it's legal because it's a game of skill.
Skill, not chance.
Not chance. Right. It's about, you put like something on the simulator, like a 140-yard hole, nothing crazy, nothing too easy but too difficult. An average golfer, 1 in 8,000 to 1 in 15,000 odds of getting a hole-in-one.
It's got to be such a wider range than that.
It's a pretty wide range, though. 8,000 to 15,000.
But like, if it's like a 97-yard chip shot versus like a 234-yard, or the
details. We'll get to advanced mode later. Okay. So let's assume 1 in 8,000. Your break even per ball is $1.25. So if you can charge around like $6-7 per ball, it's a pretty good business. If you're particularly going to put it in the airport usually takes like a rip on gross revenue. Mm-hmm. But like something like 15% is probably what they take. Or a minimum amount if you don't have sales. 8 people. And I think you got to do 3 sims in one location, about 2,500 square feet.
Yeah, you set up a bar around it too.
Whatever, doesn't matter. But like
the
key is you need high foot traffic. And ideally you have it open as long as possible. Mm-hmm. You could put it in a bar, like in a beach area, a popular bar area.
Yeah.
But you need a lot of throughput. I think this thing could do like 20-25% net margins, probably make like $300,000-$400,000 a year. It's a physical location-based business, and the odds are ever in your favor. And I think if people are in the airport, they got time to kill, they hear the whacking of the ball in the simulator, and it's like there's a wall of winners who've won $10,000.
Yeah.
You go in, get a water, and maybe you buy 3 balls, and then maybe you buy 3 more.
Well, I know for a fact that I would be the guy who just like watches everybody, but I would be sipping on my beer that you sell just right next door, and I would just
start the brewery next to Nick's business.
Nick's business would have the bar too, but like that's where I would spend my time in the airport. I would like watch these fools try to hit holes in ones.
Yeah. Sounds super entertaining.
Yeah. I think you probably need like 2 people to run it.
How hard is it to get this into an airport? I think the hardest part for me is just that.
I mean, I think the airport is like the ideal location, but like there could be several different locations. You could pop one up like anywhere, right? In a very small square footage.
The airport is a good idea in the sense that people have some time to kill generally.
And they're walking by. Yeah. San Diego's a golf-oriented city.
Okay,
so half the visitors
perform best in like a bigger airport that has long international layovers.
Even better.
Tell me about the fixed costs. What? So you got to pay for the golf sim. How much does that run?
Up front.
Yeah, how much does that cost?
That one, I think like retail is probably like 20-25 grand.
Okay.
So 25 grand a pop, whatever. Like
that's not bad.
Maybe it takes like $500,000 to set it up and do the interiors and all that.
And then what's the risk? Is there a risk of like a shark that just like bleeds you dry?
Totally. I mean, you could have like a scratch golfer have like a 1 in 3,000 chance or 1 in 2,000 chance.
Steven's got a new career.
But like even better, because there's not even that many scratch golfers to like make you go bankrupt, but you need some winners on the wall,
right,
to get everyone excited. And I think like hitting the golf ball simulator in the airport sounds fun, but a chance to win $10,000, I think everyone likes a little gambly.
Okay, let me think through this. I love that this was the business idea. I was afraid it was going to be like some butt wipes or something.
No. This is different.
This is awesome.
Combines a lot of things that I enjoy. Golf, gambling. Okay, so $7 feels high to me.
High.
It does.
I feel like in
my
brain, like I'm doing this for like I'll do it for like $1.
No,
it's $1 per ball.
No,
it's a lose-lose.
I do it for
$4
in the airport. You already know that you're getting kind of gouged.
I think the right number is like $10 to play
minimum, like $10 for
I'm
one.
saying as a user,
it's too high. Now, if
that's
it's
the right number.
If
to
it's
get
you
people
in
to
a
play.
sim by yourself, $10 is way too high.
Yeah.
If somehow the environment is you and there's like a bunch of like hot women like cheering you on in the background or something, now you're gonna like overpay for the ball. So I think like the environment you curate of people watching you like is kind of like the key element here. And I think you need to like have some revenue generation outside of the like I think you have to like I think the hole-in-one itself has to be like a loss leader.
What if first ball's free? Does that get you at least in the door?
First ball's free is an interesting idea. I like that. But then you're saying
either way you're paying for it.
What'd you say they expected? 1 in 10,000?
$1.25 break even per ball, and 1 in 8,000 on the low level for like odds. 1 in 15,000 on the higher.
God, 7 just feels high. Like maybe people do 5.
People will do 5.
You could do bulk.
Yeah.
Bulk buys.
I mean, you need a set of offer structures that just basically gets people to say yes, hand credit card, and like hit one ball.
Okay,
and then from there, it's like addicting on its own. You get it close, you're like, give me another fucking ball.
Yeah.
No, you got to do like the online like internet marketer checkout funnel thing, where it's just like, oh, you could buy 1 bottle for $400, or you could buy 17 bottles for $20 each, and people are like, wow, that's so much
I mean,
better than
you literally
$400
put the iPad there, and they can just keep going.
Yeah, everybody's gonna want more than 1 ball anyway, so you could frame it as like, oh, it's $7 a ball, or get 10 balls for $50 or 20 balls for.
I think you still need it like 5 times your break-even cost, 4 to 5 times your break-even cost to have enough gross margin in it. And listen, if this wasn't an airport takes 15% of gross sales. But if you're in another location, you're going to have, a lower fixed costs.
Yeah.
You still have probably high rent because you want a high traffic area, but it's not going to be a rip on your revenue.
Oh, chat's got a good idea here.
Okay, what do we
So the idea is that you integrate it with the bar model, and you get like a free ball with the drink. And you can just very easily kind of blend that into the cost of the drink or subsidize that a little bit. But then people do it, they got the drink, and then they're like, I got to go again.
So you lost me at $7 a ball, and you have me. I'm broke if it's free with a drink.
All right. Well, here's a challenge.
Like if I can get a beer at a bar and then like I just get a free shot at a $10,000 hole-in-one, that's kind of fun.
Yeah, I will like encourage you guys to go to the airport with me on a Friday. We're not even flying anywhere.
All right. Well, let me tell you a challenge business model. So it's not like the walk by traffic is flat every hour of every day in the airport, right? It's highly seasonal, and like you have holidays or times of the certain hours of the day that have most amount of people. So you need high throughput during those hours because your max amount of plays per hour is maybe 6 to 9 people per hour if they only hit like 3 balls. So you need to be able to handle like the high volume, the surge. So if you add the drink in, it just slows the machine down. But we could make it a little faster. Because like during high throughput areas, there are times you need. I think that's why it makes sense to have 3 sims and not 1, because it's a marginal upfront cost of like $50,000, but you make sure you capitalize on the most busiest times. The other idea is you could get advanced and do surge pricing. So based upon if there's people playing, it goes down to $4 a ball, and then if it's busier in the airport, you could ratchet it up.
This would be great as like a food truck model, kind of like if you're having like a party or an event or something.
You just roll it up.
Yeah, you just bring the hole-in-one truck.
I love it.
Bring the hole-in-one truck.
If it's like a hole-in-one truck integrated with like a bar, and there's some like pretty girl like serving you beers, and you get your like free shot at the hole-in-one with like a beer. Maybe it's not like 1 beer. You like level. We could boost this again, right? maybe it's like one drink or whatever. Maybe you buy like 3 drinks or something. You get like, or 2 drinks. 2 drinks, you get a free hole-in-one beer.
I love this idea of the food truck model because now it's like if you're hosting a party at your house, I'm gonna buy unlimited for my guests to like go for shots at it.
Okay, can I poke at it a little
bit? Please. That's what I want.
So I think it's really interesting, and it's like the entertainment factor is the most interesting thing about all of this, right? It's like you can do a lot to spice it up and have auxiliary revenue and have alcohol and have the girls and create the, you know, surge pricing and figure out the business model. But what I don't like about it is it's too small. It's like 300, 400K a year. The amount of operational overhead and time that goes into like executing one of these successfully, that's $1 million business. Someone's going to buy it one day. If you get it to 300K in profit for like $1 million. And don't get me wrong, $1 million or just cash flowing 300K a year can sustain someone's lifestyle.
Right.
Like, that's really cool for like one family. You got a guy, he does 1 or 2 of these and it can be a great lifestyle. But I think the idea is actually sound. It's just how you execute it. You don't execute it as potentially, this is an idea. You don't execute it as an individual operator. You execute it as like a franchise idea. Like you develop the system and the infrastructure and the business model and the tools and the suppliers and everything. And then you literally allow people to start this as a business and go, and you've already developed the relationships with all the top airports. And you're basically like enabling individual sole proprietors that would be life changed by 300, 400, 500K a year to go and execute this for you. So you instead move from sole proprietor operator to corporation owner. And that corporation owner, that's $100 million business.
Yeah, I agree. Like it's a small time idea, but I feel like there's so many options to scale it up, right? Like one is this is one franchise model. That's one. The other is just like raising money to print out 100 of them over the country, right? Like, and actually own all of them. And if you can prove it in like probably 3 to 5 different types of locations and you got something good, then I think you could easily raise the money.
Yeah, you could corporate it, you could franchise it. You take like a more of a Top Golf approach, but with way more locations.
So help me understand this. Like if you do the franchise model, is it still centralized on the maintenance? Like does the central hub do like maintenance and stuff, or
you buy like a business in a box?
Yeah, the franchise is like, we help you with your marketing. These are your suppliers. These are your resources. You go through us for everything. This is your blueprint. This is your playbook. Or it's the latter. It's like all one giant corporation, the in and out style. We run this. We decide the locations. We decide the team. We decide everything. No one can come and like, you know.
And you might take
one's like McDonald's, one's In and Out.
Yeah, and like the franchise ors will take like a rip on sales, gross receipts, but they'll also kind of like, there's a setup fee. The franchise
$200K, $100K.
They buy in
to get started, and
then there's usually like additional fees, kind of like helping you manage the business. You might even provide services to those locations.
Yeah, I guess
if I'm looking at it as an individual, though, I'm like, I don't know what's less like intense, and it's like running the corporation or just having the business in a box.
Yeah, I'm guessing to what degree do you unburden yourself with the day-to-day operations if you do the franchise
probably
model?
Both come with their own set of burdens, and I bet you that the difference is just like the person that has experience or connections in one avenue or the other and is best suited. Also, personality is like a driving factor. You know, it's like, what are you best suited to do?
What do you guys think about it being in a simulator and not like another idea would be at Mission Bay? It's like a par 3, 18-hole par 3 course. Like, let me lease a 19th hole. Like, I'll pay for all the maintenance, all of it. And when people get off the 18th green, I'll be there to be like, hey, you guys want to play the 19th hole? Because you could get $10,000 if you hit it in the hole.
No, that doesn't work.
That
doesn't work at all, because you're talking about like when you're in a simulator, you've got like 12 square feet of space, right? Versus like you are occupying massive amounts of real estate to do this. Like the economics are just very bad if you do it that
But
way.
I love that name for it. The 19th hole is the business name. Like,
yeah, like
sick.
in Vegas, when you play at the Wynn on the 18th hole, if you hit it in, you win like 25 grand if you get a hole in one on the last par 3 or whatever. And he was like, interesting. You could just do that as a business.
Right.
And make it very profitable. I have a feeling it's going to be like 1 in 15,000. And one tough part might be you have an empty winner wall like for 3 months for a long time before anyone actually wins. And you're like, trust me, come play.
Could you just be like an insurance company at every golf course that already exists and take one of their par threes and turn that into like...
I'll underwrite all your par threes.
People do that. Because you play these tournaments and you like people have tournaments and they have like a prize for like a hole-in-one or something. And then you can get people to underwrite it. And the hole-in-one insurance. It's a weird niche industry. I love these like weird niche insurance industries.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I don't know. I think like if you can prove one location can make like $300,000-$400,000 a year, like you have something really, really big that could be replicated. Because how many could you put of those in San Diego? You know, there's like more than just one.
Have you ever thought about like what the model looks like from like an events perspective? Like, because this is like an interesting way to stress test it. Because you can imagine somebody has like an event, right?
Yeah.
And this would be like a fun thing to have at it. It'd be like a big draw for them, right? What would that person pay to basically have this at the event? You know, how many golf balls would be hit per hour versus how much benefit would people get for like if you had like a thing at your event, which is this cool van where you like hit a hole in one for like 10K, people would love that. But like how many balls would get hit if you're charging like $5 a ball or $7 a ball? Like, well, how many balls get hit in an hour? Like how many, and then how much does it cost?
Imagine
like,
a bunch of scratch golfers get together, like, yeah, bring that fucker over here. We just sit there for hours until we knock a chip shot in.
But nobody's even going to do that. Even if you scratch, you're not going to do that because just like the hourly is still so bad. Like, what are the odds for a scratch golfer to hit a hole in one?
I mean, by definition, it has to be net EV for the people playing. It has to be, right? So you're not doing. You're like, I think you're right. You're doing it for the entertainment value, not because you're going to make money.
But you need to stress test it in case somebody like games it, right? But say a scratch golfer is 1 in 1,000 to hit.
Okay.
Right. How long would it take a scratch golfer to hit 1,000 balls?
I don't know. Probably like
you probably hit 2 balls a minute.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just
if you're pumping,
design some rules where it's like you can only hit 5 balls and then it's the next guy's turn and then you get to the back of the line or something.
But even if like the guy was sitting there just pumping balls, like how long would it take a scratch golfer to actually hit 1,000 balls?
Hours, because I mean, like I've got
so many hours.
I've gone to the range and gotten like
the
150 balls.
The hourly is not even gonna be worth it for 10K.
The best part is you get tired at like 150 balls.
Right.
So
because if the population odds are 1 in 10,000, but you're a scratch golfer, so you're 1 in 1,000, then the EV might go from 0 to like 10 times that or whatever. But it's like not going to be that high of an expected value per ball still, even though you're 10 times the population. And then when you factor in like the labor cost, I don't think you're going to get gamed, because that's the thing you worry about.
Agreed.
Like, you're going to get some organized scam that just sits there and you get some like guys in the Chinese factory just like hitting golf balls. Like, just like the guy that with like all the phones on like the bikes and everything.
You're just trained to hit this 140-yard shot on this one sim hole.
You have to like change the hole every time.
Just farming you.
I like it because like you don't need to know. It's not like a tech play. It's not like a software play. Anyone could set it up. It's the math, the probabilities are in your favor. It's just a matter, can you get enough people to play? And if you're in a high traffic enough area, I think enough people like to gamble. You basically turn into like a state fair, game, but you could just do it all year round. Mm-hmm. All right, so viable, but potentially not big enough. Not like
I mean, big is relative.
Yeah. I also think that like $10,000, like whatever, just make it like $1,000 and just make it cost
$1,
like $1.
Yeah,
that's or
it all like works. That. Yeah, you can scale it up.
If there's enough, if there are enough people around, if there's enough of a vibe, people just do things that are negative money EV because they're plus like other kinds of EV.
You're just trying to kill time in the airport, anyways.
Yeah, you're just having fun, having a drink.
Okay.
All right. Cool idea.
I like the idea.
Cool.
Yeah. So if somebody wants to do it, you'll advise them?
Yeah. I'll put in half the capital and they put in the other half. They got to have some skin in the game.
There you go. Wow.
We just need like an ongoing Nick's business notebook.
I like that.
There's some really bad ones.
Nick's business note. We should break it up with some of Nick's the worst ideas in Nick's business.
I want to actually have an episode where we listen to Nick's worst ideas.